Hit the lights. So we got the church to send a priest over to perform a blessing on the house and the occupants. Whatever was oppressing that apartment was no longer with them.
Any questions?
Yep.
So, what are you guys? I mean, what do people call you?
Well, we've been called demonologists. It's one name for us. Ghost hunters, paranormal researchers.
Kooks.
Wackos.
But we prefer to be known simply as Ed and Lorraine Warren.
So welcome back to my studio, Huntington Beach, California, where we are going to get into some of the Conjuring Universe.
I'm excited. Tamantha felt like we needed to do a prayer. We didn't really do a prayer. Shall we do one real quick? What do you want to do?
To say we, dear Lord, protect us in your guiding white light as we talk about the entertainment factor of the Conjuring Universe franchise, all of it, but that what I do enjoy and love about it is that it's rooted in deep faith and love, and let that love and light always protect us.
Amen. I love that, sis.
Thank you.
I thought you were working for a church.
I'm not working for the church, but we are in my house, and so, yeah, I mean, look, we don't always speak so much about our faith all the time, but I do enjoy our faith, and I think that's what resonates when we talk about... Now, how many of you guys have watched, any of the Conjuring Universe? And by that I mean Conjuring 1, 2, or 3, and the movies Annabell. I think there's 2 of those.
The Nun.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the Nun, which we are going to watch later.
We're going to do a reaction video.
I'm a little scared.
She is scared.
I
And
know.
I'm staying the night in her full-size bed in her guest bedroom, and she might be joining me like we used to in the 4th grade.
Like, oh my gosh, yes, that's what we used to do. Because Amityville is also part of Ed and Lorraine Warren stories.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that
that
was
ruined us.
the first movie, real scary movie that we saw with Mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, we did, share the same bed for about 2 weeks. So...
I think we shared the same bed the whole time we lived in that apartment in Baldwin Park.
Yeah. So, my first introduction to, technically it was Amityville, that horror that got us into Lorraine and Ed Warren stories.
Yes.
Duke just wants to be part of Ronnie's life right now. He just, there he is. We don't like to make out with dogs, okay?
No, we don't.
That's not our type. Okay, but what I was going to say is, okay, so put that out of my mind for many, many years because I was horrified, terrified, all the things because we saw them at the drive-in and what have you at 4th grade. We've talked about this in the past.
Mom's like, we're going to the drive-in, and we were so excited. And then we find out that
Duke is excited too.
We find out that it's, this Amityville horror movie marathon. We were terrified.
We were terrified. But I would tell you, I think it was 2016 WonderCon in Los Angeles. It had moved from Anaheim to LA. Sophie and I went, and we sat in on the James Wan panel, and it all was revigorated for me. And I believe he was talking about Conjuring 2. So I went home and I was able to watch Conjuring 1. I think it was available for me to, get on the TV. And I just thought they were so well done. Yes, jump scares, okay. But fast forward, and I think it was 2018. I could be wrong. I didn't double check this fact. I got to see Annabell 2. I got to go to the premiere because one of my besties' sister-in-law is Stephanie Sigman, 007 girl, and also played the nun in that Annabelle film.
Yeah,
and I
such a
love
small
her.
world.
I don't know if Stephanie ever listens or tunes in, but I just remember her, and she let me go with Allie, Jessica's little sister, because Jessica and Sal aren't really into that kind of thing. And Allie and I are kind of just like these horror chicks that like love these type of movies, and we sometimes go on movie nights out because it's not really Paxton's thing either, to be honest. And we got to meet the nun.
Tamantha missed her moment though.
I did. I was trying not to be overly
giddy
or obnoxious. I don't know. You get invited to a Hollywood
Sorry.
premiere. You know, I wanted to blend in and not stand out too. You know what I mean?
I know,
didn't
but
want
that
to be
nun
nuisance.
has such unique features.
She really does.
She really is fascinating to me, like mesmerizing even.
I totally agree. And then I was so enamored with the most recent Conjuring because it really resonates Ed and Lorraine's love story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's exactly what is amazing. Sorry, guys. I thought it would be less distracting to let my dog in the room, but he's turning out to be a huge distraction.
It's okay.
He's just curious.
He's a family member.
Mhm.
He's a family member.
He's just trying to get into the mix here.
All right, so Tamantha,
Yes.
2 words. Supernatural. Actually, is that 1 word?
Supernatural thrillers.
Thriller is where I was taking that. I hadn't really thought about that phrase before, but that is exactly what the Conjuring universe is. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously we've talked about the paranormal, supernatural goes hand in hand. Last season we talked a lot about the supernatural and its crossovers into the church quite frequently. When we talked about St. Patrick, and we talked about even transubstantiation, where we believe the body and blood of Christ actually happens when we're in Mass with the bread and the wine. And so I think we find this Conjuring franchise very compelling because of that dynamic of Lorraine really being into her faith. Like, really.
Well, and she's a clairvoyant. She discovered her abilities at a really young age.
7, I think.
But by 12, she, it was actually, there's a little story where she, in her, I forget what kind of school it was, parochial school, if you will, and they were planting a little seedling tree, and, she paused and was looking at the sky and, seeing the tree all in full grown length, and the nun asked her, what are you looking at the future? And that kind of confirmed, like, okay, this nun actually gets it. So she did have a gift from God, and she's always used it in that way. And I feel that is what also kind of makes these movies so special. Of course, we have Catholicism we were brought into, and so it is mesmerizing, and it's a little bit dabbling or curiosity and superstition and all the things that people kind of think about Catholics, if you will.
From a Catholic standpoint, the idea of something that you hold really sacred could be perverted like that is what gives it the strength that it has. In a lot of ways, I think that was what worked for movies like The Exorcist as well.
I think people are so afraid of religious figures because they install fear in people.
So I actually kind of unnerved when I hear these fundamental Christians talking about, like, even the Blessed Mother, like, we're worshiping her rather than honoring her. And those are 2 very different things.
Yeah, because we need to honor motherhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think so. But yeah, so I found myself, when I'm watching these films, yes, James Wan, the different, directors and things, the jump scares, obviously they get you in the timing. And I just recently watched The Conjuring 2 with the UK case. And
I was avoiding that one.
I was too. I barely watched it before Sophia went to college.
Yeah, I had, like, no problem taking Betty to see Annabelle. She wanted to see Annabelle, and because you brought up Jessica's sister-in-law, I think for her at that young age, she obviously, kind of could relate, like, oh, okay, she's an actress portraying this nun kind of thing. However, when we went to the theater, I believe we were at Ed Edwards Regal Theatre in Ontario, they actually made me, or they asked me how old she was. And I didn't realize at the time that even if you're the parent, you're not allowed to bring children under 8 years old to a rated R film.
Really?
Yeah, and by the way, this is the infamous day where I had a woman, a couple people back from me, kind of called me out in line and was like, "You're taking your daughter to see that film?
I vaguely
That's
remember
so
that.
scary." And I was like,
None of your business what I do
"Hello,"
with my kid.
you know, Betty Lou was kind of spooky as a little one.
She definitely has a calling of something very interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love it, and you know, you don't shy away from it in a sense because it shouldn't be looked at as a bad thing.
No, and I think that's where, I mean, yes, it's fun to be scared, and we have our superstitions, especially being, you know, Catholic and raised in the house that we were raised in. But I don't want my kids to grow up being afraid, because I feel like when you are talking about darker energies, they feed on fear. Like, I really do believe
Yeah,
that.
so stay in the
So
light.
for me, it's like you stay in the light, but also like understand God is first, and that for me, He's the ultimate power. So I'm not intimidated, or, you know, shy about the subject matter, because it doesn't frighten me.
Yeah.
The way maybe it would somebody else.
Which was Lorraine's gift, actually. Right. You know, when she goes into you were talking about a shock doc. I don't remember the name of that, but we just watched a really cool Warner Brothers Entertainment, The Conjuring Universe on YouTube. And it's not very long, maybe 35 minutes, I think. I'm trying to look at my little notes here.
And what Tamantha's going to do is create a playlist on our YouTube channel, and she will put that in there. It's so awesome that you can do this. Actually, I learned that from the guy at the nail shop. He would play all these music videos. He's like, "Oh yeah, you just create like a playlist." And so when she brought this up on YouTube, and constantly you and I are bringing up stuff on YouTube, it just seems like the natural next step for us to create these playlists so that you guys can watch some of the behind the scenes, you know, intel that we get.
Because, you know, look, yes, we plan our podcast, we plan the episodes, and we do research, but just like we were talking about, mentalfloss.com. I mean, they really break down things that, you know, would take us hours upon hours to research. And hey, guys, we're moms. You know, we have jobs.
And we're very involved in our communities. Yes. I mean, we just had 3 very successful events at the Etowanda Historical Society.
That's right, and the summer spook nights.
So yeah, thanks Mental Floss, and
thank you so much for giving us the highlights. Now, okay,
on Warner Brothers, right?
Listen, I'm feeling a little parched.
Okay.
So we want to get into our little cocktail just so we can sip it, and then we can.
So do look for that YouTube playlist, though. It was
and I'll put it in the show
released
notes.
by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers has a whole actual YouTube channel where they put this kind of thing.
Yeah, it was so cool, like a whole timeline of the
That's what was brilliant about it. It had the timeline of, you know, the Conjurings, Annabell, the Nun, and how they all fit in, you know, existence. Yeah. But then also real footage of Lorraine at that age, at the time that she was still living and was working on the films with them.
When I first met Lorraine, I was actually very nervous. I want to do her justice and basically have her blessing on the film.
I love this. You know,
I've got Lorraine's blessing now. Lorraine Warren is such a fascinating character, and Ed has passed on now. But with Vera, she actually was fortunate enough to have Lorraine be around to be able to talk to her, to understand who she is, and kind of really know what motivates her to do what she does.
Hi, Mama Bear.
Patrick's version of Ed is a very romanticized version of Ed. Ed was always much more a very practical guy.
Right, it's 9:18. We're headed down into the cellar where the doors just opened on its own. I have Lorraine and Officer Brad Hamilton with me.
Being a demonologist is just like being a carpenter. Exorcising a demon or a ghost out of a house is no different to fixing a car or a TV set.
Doesn't always work when you want it to.
They romanticized Ed in the movie.
They did admit that.
Which I love.
Yeah.
But they did have a very real, true,
strong
love and faith.
We really enjoyed the work we were doing, and we really never wanted to stop.
Tell me about the beginning, the first night the bureau happened. What was your brother's doing?
Pulling the bell. I wasn't quite sure now.
You were scared.
Yeah.
When I think back, I think we helped a lot of people.
What was fascinating about this from the beginning, and I remember James selling it to us, was as dark as you get with these stories, there was going to be a real freedom in wanting to show the light and the love.
And that purity is just a stark contrast to that negativity and the darkness that we portray. And that's what's so appealing.
And, you know, they were teenage sweethearts. But
he
back
went
then
off
that
to
was
the
very
war,
normal.
He came back. And
survivors leave, they got married. When he left again, he came back, she had the baby, Judy, such a cute name. And Judy is even on this, some of the documentaries that we watched. So
I will say, going back to that too, and I don't know if it was on the Shock Docs, but it could have been. And I'll make sure that I link it somewhere. But there was a moment where Ed goes back to, I believe it was Japan, when he was stationed there, when he found out that their baby girl was born.
Oh.
And then shortly after that trip, I believe he ended up passing away. But it was really cool that they included that.
Wait, I'm sorry.
So when he was in the military and he was stationed in Japan, that's when he got like the phone call when his baby girl was born.
Okay.
That's how I remember it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, later on in life, he goes back to Japan and goes to that same spot, and he's standing in that spot where he got the call.
Okay.
It was very
all right.
sweet.
I was making sure that I understood what you were saying. Anyways, I just kind of loved how they kind of focused on that, and James Wan talks about how they focus on their love story. And I'm going to say it first.
Well,
we need Valentine's Day cards with those two silhouettes.
Yeah, hello. Somebody work on that. By the way, what is your favorite Conjuring movie?
Oh gosh, I'm going to say, you know what? I love the first one because, gosh, I love them all. But I mean, I'm going to give credit to the first one because I thought it was so well done in a very scary Roanoke, farmhouse type
She said Roanoke.
type of thing. Well, if you've seen that American Horror Story, good gosh, yeah.
That was not my favorite season of American Horror Story.
I can't say it's my favorite. I mean, Hotel's up there in The Coven. The Coven is my probably favorite.
Hoopscraft, I'm still using my wonderful tumbler from our Freddy Krueger.
If you're hearing, can you hear the fan?
Background.
I feel like you can hear the fan in the background a little bit, but it's really hot in my house. Not really hot, but it's been a warm day.
Yeah, I think we were in the 90s in Huntington Beach. It was crazy.
It was at least 88 degrees, and we decided to film this at night and record at night because the Pacific Air show was going from 10 to 4:30. So loud, awesome jets were flying above my house, and then we had a little bit of the SSJ fair, which I think will be ending probably by 10 o'clock. But it's not around the corner from me. It's a few blocks away, and you can hear the music. And it's just been a warm day. I don't have air conditioning, so that's really fun. But listen, our drinks are pleasantly melting, and we should really get into them.
Okay, let's do
you
it.
see
Oh my
this?
gosh.
I feel like I need a picture.
By
I'm
the
gonna
way, we're
pause
going
here.
to have a reel on our Frolic Inc. Instagram, and you'll see how the ice cube was before, and then we should do
I
it
might add it to my
after.
story. Okay,
yeah, that would be great.
So our cocktail tonight is called the Full Moon Martini. I got this from joetastic.com. It was posted August 18th, 2016. Now, this is a beautiful drink because it is also simple and elegant. The hardest thing to do is probably making the coconut cream and water ice sphere.
The fact that you even did that is really
okay.
Awesome.
Paxton has ice spheres that somebody gifted him the molds for a birthday or Christmas. I don't know. He usually keeps them in the freezer, and so I used those. I already had them. I got the coconut cream from. Did we go to Bevmo or Total Wine when we were with?
We went to both.
I think I might have just bought it though. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways, so coconut cream and water. So 1/2 cup coconut cream, 1/2 cup water. Mix it up. Put it into the sphere. Let it freeze for at least 5 to 6 hours. Okay. Then you're going to get a beautiful martini glass or coupe glass that we have here, which I also found at
These
Bevmo.
are my favorite glasses.
These
They're
are more
so
sturdy
beautiful.
than the fancy German glass I spent a bunch of money on, and one already broke. Yeah, so like $50 versus I think $6.99. I'm down for it.
Where did you get those ones though?
Bevmo the other day.
Seriously?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Okay, and I think the Lindy company, glass company, makes them from the U.S., so that also was a plus for me. Okay, so you're going to have your coupe glass. You're going to sugar rim it. So just, wet the edge with the lime, what have you. I used white sugar, which normally we love the raw, but for presentation, the white sugar.
I love it.
Okay.
It looks so pretty too with the black light.
Yes. And then you're going to take your ounce of vodka, which we use King Street vodka. King Street. We love Kate Hudson. Okay, you put the sphere inside the glass. You pour the vodka over the sphere. You garnish with a couple blackberries. And voila, you're done. What I like about this drink, now we haven't tasted it yet, and I do like coconut, but normally when we make cocktails, they start to get warm by the time we actually talk about them. So this one is actually melting in the vodka.
This benefited us though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. This is like a strategy gone well. So I think we should be
to Lorraine and Ed Warren.
May our love last like theirs.
Right. Hello. So excited to see.
I'm not disappointed.
I have to admit, I'm not usually a coconut fan, but this is good.
Because a coconut is not overwhelming. Twin moment. Okay. Look at this for those guys on our video. Yummy.
And this garnish is blackberries?
Mm-hmm.
Man, when we hit these mics, they really make a lot of noise.
I'm very sorry. I feel so klutzy. It's feels like such a tiny space. I want to see if you can even see it glow a little bit. But I'm dripping on my pages. No, I feel like I'm running out of juice back there. Yours might show better.
Oh yeah, look at that. Can you see? Oh no, my mic is covering it.
Oh.
Sorry guys. Oh wait, maybe just a little bit right there.
Okay, well get yourself a black light.
Well, that one's doing something.
I'm not sure I love these black lights. I got them on Amazon and they're probably a fire hazard. So hopefully we're not smoky vines.
Holy Hannah.
Okay, but how yummy. And I just love that it's melting and it just looks so cute. I feel like I'm just going to grab another picture. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to the podcast. Okay, cocktail is the Full Moon Martini. Easy, 1 ounce vodka over some ice. Okay.
It was an easy drink. I think your biggest step was making that
the sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. Clanky, sorry guys. It's just awkward. I need to do things with my left hand. That's what it is. I figured it out.
That is what it is.
It is what I... Okay, and I've totally, just ruined my notes. Okay. So, I have a funny story. Talking about all things Catholic. Trent went to his school Europe trip in 2016 with his Cybax group. And I was thinking, what could I have my son bring back for me? And I thought the best thing would be is if he could bring me some holy water from any of the basilicas that they went to. And I also know that they were planning to go to the Vatican. So I sent him with, I went to the little Catholic store not far from me, bought the little, holy water bottles and one big one, whatever. Told him, throw it in your luggage. If you have a chance, this is what mommy wants. This is what mom wants,
Did you really say mommy?
Yes. Mommy wants this.
Oh, goodness.
So, two cool things happened to him at the Vatican. One, he did get the blessing from the Pope.
I love that.
And I don't know that Bailey Hanson ever listens to this podcast, but she was on that trip, and she was very adamant that they go do that. And
Aww.
I am so happy that she pushed for it from what I understand. And it is one of the coolest things I think that somebody could have done, especially as a Catholic. So, other funny story is Trent, teacher, Mr. Bammer, when Trent was trying to go across the red rope, because I guess they separate where true Catholics can go and the normal everyday public, he got yelled at. Trent, take it serious. This isn't a joke. So Trent said, Mom, can you please send me my confirmation certificate? Because Trent is like, no, I'm actually Catholic. I did make my confirmation. So
That's
there
so
was that.
sweet.
Okay, so fast forward, they get to the gift shop for my understanding, and Trent is saying, oh, do you guys have holy water? My mom wants holy water. And the gift shop attendant said, well, we don't really here. We don't sell it. But if you want to go to the bathroom and fill up your bottle and bring it back to us, we will bless it.
Really?
Yes. So that is what I have here.
Who blessed it?
Well, this is why I'm saying that it wasn't a priest. So it's a fine line of, holy water, because it was blessed at the Vatican. Just not by a deacon or a priest. Unless the gift shop owner happened to be the deacon. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's the closest thing I have. So I have it labeled here. And I believe it says July 25th or 23rd of 2016. Italy. But I'll take it.
I think that's so great. I'm going to try and lower that fan because I can hear it quite a bit.
Yes. Okay.
I'm going to try and put it at our feet.
Okay.
You keep talking, though.
Okay, so anyways, I just think that is such a funny story, and that I have basically Vatican blessed bathroom water, and it wasn't from the cherub font. If you've ever seen pictures, maybe lower it down one notch. That way, we're talking about the fan here. I think you turn it all the way to the right.
No, it's on one.
It's on one? Okay, it's just pretty loud, guys. Sorry. Actually, these
we
mics
can still hear it?
I can still hear it. Should we turn it off?
You can try.
Maybe burning up. Oh yeah, that's a huge difference. And hopefully it's just white noise at that point.
Right.
So hopefully
that
wasn't
wasn't too disruptive.
So, but we shut it off for now. I can't believe it. It's 9:41 and it just feels like it's still... Well, it's still 68 degrees outside.
We did have that fan up on the desk and the microphones were like parallel to it too.
Yeah, and I think too, we have to keep the window closed because Assist J Fair was happening. Yeah, so we did that.
Thanks for being patient and
Trent, thank you so much for my holy water from the Vatican. Even though it did not come from the big cherubs. Those cherubs are like 6 feet high.
No, I
tall.
didn't know that.
The cherubs in the font. Like shell scoop bowl at the Vatican, and I guess there's 2 sets of them.
Oh my
I've never been to the Vatican. I've never been to Italy. That's on my list, and eventually I'll get there.
How beautiful!
But isn't that so sweet that Trent is like?
I really only know 3 people. I think Chrissy went, our little sister, right?
I know she went to Medjugorje. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So and then Nate Diamantine.
Really?
And it was important for him to see the Pope because how we understand it, when the Pope opens up the window, everybody who's in the square, all your sins are washed away.
And you get blessed. And I was just talking to Trent about it a couple days ago as I was reviewing notes for this, and he even said it's
powerful.
Like when I tell people that I've had that experience and it is cool, and he was young when he went, maybe 16.
Yeah.
So I'm a little jealous. I want to do that, but it only happens on Sundays.
And one day you shall.
I'm definitely going to do that. That's for sure. So that is my little Vatican.
All right. Shall we talk about some Ed and Lorraine Warren facts?
Well, I think we just watched that little segment where after he got out of the military, they were both artists. Did you know that?
I didn't know they both were. I thought he was the painter. They're both artists?
They both were artists, and they thought they would make their living by being artists. And then they decided that they would, and Ed did the majority of, maybe he was a better artist, I don't know. But then he decided he was going to sketch houses, and if the owner wanted it, then he would paint the house. But then something clicked with him, and I don't know if he saw an article in the newspaper, but how about sketching haunted houses? So him and Lorraine would go to these houses. He would sketch the haunted house. He would give it to her, and they agreed that she would go knock on the door. And if they wanted the sketch, it would be kind of an icebreaker of getting to know what was going on in their haunted house.
Yeah.
And they toured the United
States.
States.
He would have Lorraine go up, right, to see if she actually felt something.
Right. Exactly. And
clever business strategy.
Yeah. And
okay, can I just point out, like, you know, we are going to be doing The Shining book review.
Be reading it. Read The Shining. It's coming up in a few
I'm
weeks.
still finishing it up myself, but behind Tamantha is an amazing silhouette.
Isn't it so awesome?
It's
Look at how it's
cool.
glowing.
I'm trying to move this just so you can see it a little bit. And that is from Bronton's Horror Shop. She was a vendor at Summer Spook Night. She's coming back October 16th and will be at Sleepy Hollow. And she's just so ridiculously
It's so fun. I had to have that one. And then I had to have the Swamp Thing or the Creature from the Black Lagoon up
Which,
there.
by the way, I also purchased, and we didn't know that.
It was like our twin thing, right?
Yeah. The other one I did was The Bride of Frankenstein, and that's because I actually have it in my office in the church building.
Oh, I think that's so clever.
I love it, you know.
But
all my brides.
I know we're not talking about The Shining yet, so there is a fact about the Grady twins in comparison to the book. Have you gotten that far yet?
Yes. However, let's not spoil it.
All right.
Readers read.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
All right. So back to Ed and Lorraine Warren.
They met when they were 16. We talked about that already. Got married when he was on survivor's leave, because that's kind of scary, right? I didn't even know that you got 30 days leave for survivor's leave. His ship sank, basically, right?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After his ship went down in the North Atlantic Sea. And, you know, they met when they were 16 and they were, like, married at 17. I mean, it was pretty incredible. Okay, we talked about how, they thought they would be painting as artists landscapes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's a really interesting one. Lorraine Warren was initially a skeptic. She didn't believe in ghosts until enough different people living on opposite sides of the country had similar stories. Mm-hmm. Even with her special gift, she didn't believe in ghosts. They founded New England Society for Psychic Research to document their cases and also created the Occult Museum, which was in their home.
By the way, I think that goes back as early as maybe 1952, 1955. I mean, it's significant that they started it that long ago when we have all these different ghost paranormal shows happening now on Travel Channel and Discovery and
even more podcasts. Your Ghost Brothers have a podcast now.
Oh my god, I love the Ghost Brothers.
I know, I haven't tuned in.
I love that. Well, didn't it just launch?
I think so.
Either way, if you guys are looking for, you know, fun, entertaining, just some rawness, tune into the Ghost Brothers. Yeah. We've watched all their seasons.
And another show that I'm totally into is the Josh Gates late
yeah,
nights.
she's a new Josh Gates fan.
I didn't ever hear of him, but he definitely has our formula with the cocktails and zooming when we did all the last season.
Yeah, and I remember seeing little bits of him here and there because of his Expedition Unknown and a couple of different other shows because I was following The Nerdist on Instagram, and Jessica Chabot is on his shows periodically. Right. So anyways, that being said, you know, we were excited because our friends at Mystic Museum were on there. So here we were trying to find the show on Discovery Plus. I'm like, I paid for Discovery Plus. Where is this show?
It had to do with licensing, I guess. So it took some time for it to get on Discovery Plus now. I think it's Urban Legends episode 4, maybe. Yeah.
I think that's
Kiko and Eric, congratulations, because that was really awesome.
We're super happy for you
guys. The Occult Museum is in Monroe, Connecticut. It's at their home, joined to Ed's office. Their daughter Judy and son-in-law Tony Spira run it now, and also they run the society and also its website.
Wow, and a priest still to this day comes and blesses that Annabell doll every week.
Thank goodness. Did you watch the BuzzFeed with the Annabell doll?
I don't think so, but
oh my god, it was so funny. What are those dudes' names? Because you also introduced me to those Unsolved. And I'm telling you,
they're hilarious.
They had me cracking up. They had Paxton cracking up.
Yeah, they're
You
funny.
can catch it on YouTube too.
We
should have a playlist based on
them.
Yes,
on our favorite ones. They did one on
just
Edgar Allan Poe, and they have these other ones. They're just funny.
They're funny. I think you introduced them to me when it was Queen Mary. Which is also my favorite episode from season 1. Lorraine had her abilities tested by Dr. Thelma Moss, actress turned psychologist and parapsychologist psychologist, a researcher with an interest in the occult. Working in a UCLA lab, she found Lorraine's clairvoyance was far above average, according to the demonologist.
Wow. By the way, it's to me strangely weird that have gotten so much more comfortable with this word demonologist.
I don't
when
know
we
if
were
I'm
little,
comfortable, really.
that would have been like, ooh, what are you talking
I think
about?
I'm still like, ooh.
I've been desensitized. Is people actually making a living out of this?
Well, speaking of living, they did not make money from investigating they never charged money for their investigations. Instead, they earned money from giving lectures at colleges and by licensing the rights to their stories for film,
Yeah, and
TV,
our friend
and book
Jordan
projects.
Monsell was the one who told me that he's seen them talk several times. Maybe I'm exaggerating. A few times while he was in college in Connecticut. And so he was always surprised that they chose the Annabell story to tell first because he said there's so many other like really crazy stories that they share.
But you know, I don't like any dolls. I ain't trying to
I told you that one time our neighbor was so excited that he had got this Possession on CD or something like this, and it was from Russia, and he was like trying to bring it over to our house and play it. I said no. That
Which
is
neighbor
not,
was that?
You know what neighbor that was. I'm not friends with them anymore.
Okay.
And I said, this guy
that
is
is
risky.
weird.
You're not bringing that stuff into my
I
house.
sometimes don't even like to watch certain movies because I don't want the stuff that's the spells or things being said.
Oh, by
in
the
my
way,
house.
I do appreciate that on some of these ghost shows they will say that things can be transferred through electronics or something like that, and they'll give like this disclaimer, and then they try to like phase out, or they don't do the closed captioning or something like that on the spell stuff or whatever. Yeah, we just went to that Into the Black haunt experience at Haven City
in Rancho Cucamonga.
And Larry and Cheryl Bones are amazingly talented, and that maze was so effective. And my co-host, she helps me with all the vendors for my events at the society, Louise, and she's actually working as a scare actress inside the maze. But my point is it's kind of got this like Victorian / demon devil vibe, and I had to get kind of past that.
I don't know if I can hang out in there.
Experience it. They did such a good job, though. Like honestly, the presentation, the installation was that
Installation?
The mic? I just heard this big boom, so I think it was Tamantha hitting the
I'm
mic.
so sorry, guys.
And so it startled me. I thought it was an earthquake.
That's only when I'm away at your house than we have them here.
Oh my gosh. And so, anyways, if you appreciate set design, oh my gosh, they just did such an amazing job. But the point I'm trying to make is, it's very weird how, and go support this haunt, by the way. We need to support all small businesses. That we have to, at least for myself personally, kind of have to amp myself up to experience this demon culture. And it's because we're freaking spooks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, growing up in a Catholic house, like you
don't
just
mess
didn't
around.
You didn't mess with that. And one of the things that was so effective in that maze, because Eric and I talked about it, and he really did brave up. Because yes, I am spooky. Because I had this, like, somebody had approached me online and said, "Oh, I thought you were totally into all that stuff." I am into spooky. I am into Halloween. I am into, horror. But I don't really do gore. And
I don't
that's
do gore
the part that
either.
gets me. And some of the true crime stuff even, that will affect my energy and affect, like, my person. And so, I mean, to me, it just all begs the question, like, are we feeding into that negativity where these weirdos are coming out and creating, like...
I think for every negative or odd thing you watch, you should definitely try and watch something or feed your mind positivity.
Totally.
Because it's easy to binge watch some of this stuff and, like...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it gets compelling. But for me, like, and Tamantha knows this, I listen to a lot, I watch a lot of ghost shows. It's in the background of my house all the time. And a lot of it, and I might have mentioned this in a podcast before, it's because I'm concentrating on different things and I have my hands on so many projects. I'm usually, like, working while it's on in the back. And it's because it's quiet. They're doing investigations.
But I don't like when they're doing all that staticky
Yeah, and yeah, that does get on my nerves. But here was my point about the maze that Eric and I said was so effective, is that in that maze, there's like this whispering,
Oh no.
And it was like, it kind of messed with us. We were like, oh, that was creepy.
Then it's like, I just want to put in some
like, are they
earplugs
whispering
and
spells? Like, what's happening here? And so, yeah, the spooky...
did you bring your holy water with you?
I didn't. You know why? Because I'm friends with the producers and the creators. And so, we're fast friends. They were just such a big part of, I believe, of our success at Summer Spook Nights because of the name recognition, Horror World and FX Faces and Boneyard Effects. And so I'm so grateful, but man, they got me a few different times. And, if anybody was recording, it will be a very good laugh. Very good laugh.
Well, let me give you another little thing here. So they didn't make money off the actual cases. So when you think about that, when they went to the UK for The Conjuring 2.
Was that on their dime or the church's dime, though? Because
I don't know, but I'm just saying,
like in where I get confused with the Warrens is that they did have some clout in the Catholic Church at one point.
Yeah, to help build evidence.
And they would say, like, maybe, we're not going to send a priest out there to investigate this, but you guys go.
You guys go do it and then let us know if we need to be there, right? Okay. So it just says, they saw their main roles as educators. The Warrens began giving lectures because, according to the demonologist, there was a growing interest in the occult in the late 1960s, and many people they saw affected by dark phenomenon were college students. They hoped that through their lectures, they might discourage people from exploring the occult in the first place. Duke is giving us this little shake. So that would be the last Conjuring film, right? Which was had a little bit to do with that.
I would say so. I would say the young person was the one who stirred some stuff up and was because she had a desire to connect with the other side. That being said, I will say the part that did not add up to me was with the one paranormal historian. I believe his name was like Bill. I can't remember his last name right now, but he's in this film. And it'd be interesting to get our viewers' comments. So make sure when this is on YouTube and you guys watch that playlist, that this bit here where he talks about doing tarot and doing the Ouija board, that you're inviting and opening up this portal and all of that. Like, I get that with the spirit boards because you really are having a conversation with whatever's on that other side, and it's
where really... I feel like tarot, you're just, the cards are coming out and they just have like concepts in the artwork and the name of the card to pay attention to.
And I think we've talked about this before, like, we, quote, Christians or, yoga people, Reiki healers, and all of this good energy of the light, love and light. And they're doing, they'll have like, we're actually, it's vendors at these different, workshops and stuff like that we go to. And I took my friend Kat to one, actually our cousin was hosting it. Our cousin Monica, and she had an angel card reader there. And then, of course, at one of our events, we had an angel card reader there. And so, to me, it's like the same thing, but different. No, cards? It's like instead of having, like, the cool artwork that we have on the different tarot sets that we've collected over the years, they're more, like, angel-based. If you know what I mean. They're like, but they're calling them angel cards. But to me, it's a
very similar concept, which tarot was a game back in Italy.
And it has really, really way back, history with being basically a parlor game, and then kind of switched up over that. And then, of course, if you go into, like, I would say the 30s, when did that, the Ghost and Mr. Chicken movie was, like, based out of? You guys,
I love that movie.
Fun movie that was recommended from the president of the Historical Society to play on the family night.
I also like the Vincent Price House on Haunted Hill.
Yes. But going back to the Ghost and Mr. Chicken, they really are playing up the occult and like spiritualism.
I want to watch it again. I think I bought that.
Yeah, it's just but it's a fun family film.
It is.
And so for me, just going back on what that one paranormal historian said, I don't think I can get down with his idea that tarot is as strong.
I appreciate that because I do read as Madame Toyota, like Leota from the Haunted Mansion, and I like to feel like God is working through me.
Well, and there you go, Lorraine Warren really felt that this was a gift from God, and God was working for her, or through her, I should say. And then here you have this guy who's this paranormal historian of sorts, and he's saying how, or even Ed Warren. I
But
think
how
I read
is he
something.
practicing paranormal investigations but telling other people you can't do it?
Not just that, but like Ed Warren too, somewhere was like, don't go to psychics. But his wife's a clairvoyant. Like
Yeah.
I don't.
So I guess we're
understand
asking
any of
your
that.
guys' opinion on that.
Where do you fall on the spectrum, on the scale of that? Because for me, yes, you do need to. In my world, you put God first. But that being said, and I think that's too why I respond to the Ghost Brothers so much, and also there is another group. They do like haunted towns. And they're like Southern guys, you know, kind of thing. But what I enjoy about the Ghost Brothers and with this haunted town paranormal team, they always start with prayer. You know, like, dear Lord, dear Jesus, dear, you know, and they're praying for protection and praying, you know, for their safety and everything throughout the investigation. And so that's, honestly, that's why I respond to it so much, because I'm like, yeah, I'm like with you. Like, if I walk into a haunted house or I walk into a historic home and I'm feeling energies, like, I already feel protected because for me, my faith is very strong. Yeah. So I'm not worried about something coming at me. You know, even in that seance situation where the person doing the seance was, I mean, she like grabbed my arm and was like, I'm gonna protect you. And I had a bruise on my arm the next day. Like, she grabbed me. It was really intense. And I hope all the footage is up on YouTube. And when it is, I'll make sure. Actually, it's Ghost Watch Paranormal. They were the ones doing simultaneously the seance was happening at the Old World Emporium out in...
Which Lorraine would do some seances.
Oh, would she?
Yes.
I don't know that I
That's in one of the documentaries, yes. I just want to interject just really quickly because I want to give Adam Hunter the credit for the mentalfloss.com article that was updated on October 22nd, 2020. I always like to make sure that I recognize the people that
Sweet. Is that where you got all the facts from?
The 10 facts.
The 10 facts. Okay. And so anyways, what I'm just hitting up on is that it was just very, to me, confusing. Yes. Or mixed message. Yeah, totally. Mixed message. On the tarot versus the spirit board.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys think about that.
Yeah.
Let us know which one of the franchises of the Conjuring Universe is your favorite.
Yeah, did I announce my favorite? I asked you what your favorite was. I'm not sure you asked me mine.
I don't think I did ask you yours. Did I? No.
I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised with The Nun.
Okay. I guess we're gonna watch The Nun here in a little bit.
And Paxton might join us. So that should be interesting.
You know what's gonna happen? Paxton's gonna join us, but he's gonna be falling asleep and snoring probably within 20 minutes.
Sis, did we talk about WonderCon?
Just briefly. WonderCon in LA is where I got introduced to James Wan in The Conjuring.
Like, I mean, you introduced yourself, or you introduced and watched the panel? Like, that's where you figured out who he was.
I introduced myself to him because we went to the panel.
That's awesome.
I didn't get to talk to him, but it was an awesome panel.
He seems cool.
I was really intrigued, and I had to watch The Conjuring after that. And that's what I love and miss about good conventions. I don't know that I would always wanted to go to the big one, Comic-Con, but it's so...
To me, it's too much work.
Yeah, then I don't know.
It's too much work, and I don't know if I'm willing to camp out for 5 days.
I don't know. I value my time more for sure. So I was Sophie and I had a really great time. That was probably one of the only panels we went to. It also had the girl from Zombie, Rose Ivor. It was like a Warner Brothers panel. What I also was intrigued about, there's a movie on YouTube called Lights Out that David Sandberg won movie making contest, and so then he got picked up by James Wan, and he did also one. I think he might have worked on the Annabell movie. Annabelle 2.
I know that in that Warner Brothers timeline thing, they like signal out, or you know, those, like, it was like 5 different guys that are part of the franchise.
Here's one little thing that I want to say. I believe James Wan said it.
I've always harbored the desire and aspiration to want to make a love story, and so I guess I just kind of disguised it as a horror movie to get that across.
I dig that. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I do hear a little Some.
Woo. Hasn't happened before.
No. Well, we don't have the fan to
block it out.
Yeah. There might just be a little feedback. Let me change it out. Well, guys, we are at almost 50 minutes. But yeah, so we covered. Have you seen any of the Conjurings?
Which one was your favorite?
Ed and Lorraine Warren. Everybody should have a love like that in their life.
Who else grew up as Catholics?
Right?
What's your guys' affiliation with religion or, whatever? I'm just curious because I do feel like this universe definitely affects those of us that have been in Catholic households.
I think so. And then make yourself a full moon martini.
Yes.
These
Tamantha's
are yummy.
going to have to show how she made her full moon water. I think she has it somewhere in her Madame Teoda TikTok or something maybe.
I did make moon water. Yes.
Moon water.
Yeah,
right.
actual moon water. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then we had our Vatican story and the 10 facts. So I'm feeling pretty good about this episode.
All right, guys. This is season 2. We got a lot of cool things coming up. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be doing some fun stuff on that. And then
rate your favorite episodes.
Yeah, that.
Download.
And then some of you guys, if you are obliged, become Patreon members because our extended footage and content will be on Patreon.
Yes, look for Frolic with a K. Happy Halloween.
Oh, we're
in October.
We're in October.
We're in the
It's our
season.
season. It's our season.